Hi guys, welcome back for hopefully the last video of Final Exam Review B. Number 9 says evaluate the following using your calculator if necessary. Remember the quadrants for which the inverse functions are defined. So sine of 5.36, obviously not on my unit circle, so I don't have that memorized. So I am going to put it into my calculator, which I pulled one up here so I can do a couple with you. So sine, I'm back here, sine 5.36 would be negative 0.8. I don't think there's anything quite this simple on your test, just so you know. Secant of 75 degrees. 75 degrees is not on our unit circle either. So I'm going to plug that one. Notice this one's degrees. So when I go to plug this one in on my trig functions, we want secant 75, and this is why I brought the calculator up. Go down to your pi button and hit the degree, and it'll give you 75 degrees. Notice I didn't have to change from radian mode. I stay in radian mode and I just put in the degree and it'll give me the answer. So that would be 3.8637. So 3.8, let's call it 3.9. All right, tangent of 9 pi over 2. So we know tangent has to be, or it's not an inverse, so just tangent of 9 pi over 2. Let's think about that one. Here's my unit circle. Here's 0, here's 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pi over 2 is just tangent when we're at pi over 2. And that's when we're at the point 0, 1. So my y is 1, my x is 0, which means this guy is undefined. I'll have a calculator tomorrow because Ms. Harris is super cool. I'm going to do tangent of 9 pi over 2, and it should tell me undefined as well. Tangent 9 pi divided by 2, and it's giving me a number, but that number is not right. Oh, not quite sure why. So be careful. Make sure you know where it's defined and it's not defined. You did that right? Y over x would be 1 over 0, so that should not be correct. All right, sine inverse of 1.568. Remember, our sine inverse is only defined between -1 and 1. This number is too big, so does not exist. Cosine of negative, or cosine inverse of -3, or negative square root of 3 over 2. So I know this is going to be a cosine of either pi over 3, pi over 6, or its counterpart in the quadrant 2. So cosine inverse we know is only defined in quadrants 1 and 2. This guy's negative, so we're looking for it in quadrant 2. So where in quadrant 2 is my x value negative square root of 3 over 2? And that would correspond with 5 pi over 6. Notice if you put that on a calculator, this is where the calculator's not going to help you too much. If you put that on a calculator, calculator's going to give you a decimal answer, kind of like it did up here. And so for that decimal answer, you're not going to know that that's 5 pi over 6. So you need to know your unit circle. They will be up around the room. I'm not going to take them down, so don't stress out about that. All right, arctan of 9.85. Arctan is only defined between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. 9.85 is way outside of that, so this is a D and E as well. Which of the following, or find the following without using your calculator. So negative 8 pi over 3. All right, let's think about that one. So here we go. Here's my unit circle. I'm going to divide each of my pi's into 3s. I'm going to take this part out. That's just kind of confusing. Here's 0. Minus pi over 3, minus 2 pi over 3, minus 3 pi over 3, which is minus pi. 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, 6 pi over 3, 7 pi over 3, 8 pi over 3. So we're looking at this angle here, which on my unit circle is the same thing as 5 pi over 3. Nope, just kidding, 4 pi over 3. And so at the point 4 pi over 3, it's negative 1/2. And then the square root of 3 over 2. That's also negative. All right, and so sine at this point is just my y value, so negative square root of 3 over 2. All right, cosine of 3 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4, we're here. Cosine is the x value, is the x value here, that would be, oh, that's 3 pi over 2 this here. I knew that was too easy. Cosine of 3 pi over 4 is here. And that's at this point square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, x value is negative. Cosine, we're looking for the x value, so negative square root of 2 over 2. Tangent of 11 pi over 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, you guys know where, what's a unit circle? I don't know why I'm doing all that. You guys know that 11 pi over 6 is here. The tangent here, so what's my point over there? That's the square root of 3 over 2. And negative 1/2. I want y over x. So negative 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2. Negative 1/2 times 2 over the square root of 3. Negative 1 over the square root of 3. And that gives me negative square root of 3 over 3. All right, D, cosecant arc cosine of x divided by the square root of 2. All right, so first we got to figure out for what angle is my arc cosine. These are a little funny. Normally I'd have a number here like 1 over the square root of 2 or 1 here. I'm not sure what they want with these x's. So I'm going to say, since it's late on Wednesday night, don't worry about these. I might ask you to find the cosecant of arc cosine of, say, 1 over the square root of 2. So if I would rationalize that denominator, like sine of arc tangent of 1 or sine of arc tangent of 0, something like that I would ask you, but not with x's in there. So if the x's in there are throwing you off, they're throwing me off too. I wouldn't worry about those. All right, 11, solve for the remaining parts of the following triangles. So here we go. We're trying to find x. We've got this angle. We know the opposite, and we want to find the adjacent. So which one has opposite over adjacent? That would be tangent. So tangent 20 degrees is equal to 30 over x, which means x is equal to 30 divided by tangent 20 degrees. So when we plug that into our calculator, we want 30 divided by tangent of, 20 degrees. So 20, go down 20, go down to your pi symbol, look for that degree, put it in there, and when you hit enter, it's going to tell you 82.4 roughly. All right, for B, let's see, we've got an angle measure. We know the opposite, we're looking for hypotenuse. So we're going to use sine, because sine 40 degrees would be opposite of our hypotenuse, which is 10 over r. So r would be 10 divided by sine 40 degrees. What happened to my 10 up here? All right, plug in that guy into your calculator. I want 10 divided by sine 40 degrees. And that's roughly 15.55, so 15.6. All right, the length of the shadow of a tree. So here's my little tree. The length of the shadow, here's the sun shining on it. The length of the shadow is 125 feet. When the angle of the elevation of the sun, so angle of elevation is how the angle off of the ground, is 33 degrees. Approximate the height of the tree. So what is my height here? So I've got an angle measure. I want to know the opposite, and I've got the adjacent. So tangent of 33 degrees would be opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 125. So x is 125 tan 33 degrees. So 125 tangent is it 33 degrees? Whoa, where did I get tangent in there? 125, let's try that again. Oh, there we go. Tangent 33, pi symbol again to get to the degree. Enter, enter. So approximately 81.2 feet. All right, from a point 100 feet in front of the public library, the angles of elevation to the base of the flagpole and to the top of the pole are 28 degrees and 39 degrees. Oh, sorry, for 13 and 14 both, I'm seeing them now. These are doing degrees, minutes, seconds, which is something that we did not cover, so don't worry about 13 or 14. If you're interested in degrees, minutes, seconds, come talk to me and I'll talk to you about directions, but we did not cover it. It's not really a TEK of ours, so we did not add that into this unit. So there you go. There's final exam review B, part 3, all done. And good luck studying for your final tomorrow, guys.